Welcome to my laboratory, everybody. Well, this is not a laboratory. This is where I'm going to start doing some reviews here and there about components, about parts, specifically for heavy-duty engines. DD15 engine in this case, that will be. But today I have the opportunity to review two different components. These are overhaul kits. In this case, I have an aftermarket ESCO and an OEM Detroit. Today I'm going to review that so that way you can get the idea of what you want to get if you decide to go for either option. Aftermarket competitors are going to be different brands, going to be the most popular ones, ESCO as this one, Mack B, Interstate, Pi, and some others. Those are the most popular, but there is many others. When you go to an aftermarket competitor, it is not because you are looking better quality. It's because you are trying to save money. Most of the time, aftermarket competitors are going to be way cheaper than OEM. But the durability of their components, well, OEM components are always gonna be, manufacturer specifications and everything. So that means then with the OEM components, you gotta have at least 5 years of durability on their components. With aftermarkets, well, that will be something completely different. I am not saying the aftermarket components are not good. I am just saying that varies. If you have any experience about aftermarkets components on your engine, DD15, Caterpillar, M14, Cummins ISX, or whatever engine you work or you have, please use the comment section below and leave any of that. But without mind, we're going to start the video because this is going to be a long video. As I say, I had the opportunity to do these reviews because I have these two overhaul kits. Nobody is giving me any type of credits or payments for this. I am just doing it because I have the opportunity. So the overhaul kit is composed by many different kits: seals, gasket, cylinder head gasket, cylinders, pistons, main bearings, rod bearings, and some other components. In this case, I have these components right here because these are the major components. I have the two cylinder head gaskets, the aftermarket and the OEM. Also, I'm going to compare them so that way you can get a closer look. The price of an overhaul kit is going to vary. So OEM is going to be around like 5,000 to 7,000 depending on the components, and aftermarket is going to be between 3,000 to 4,000. So there you can see there is a big difference on the price. So that is the reason why it is very tricky to decide where you are going to go to. So with that in mind, we're going to start that. So in this case, I have the ESCO cylinder kit, overhaul cylinder kit. So the cylinder kit comes in one piece versus the OEM. The OEM comes in two pieces. It comes with the piston kit and the cylinder liner kit, which is the box behind it. In this case, the ESCO, it comes with only one box. Everything is together. I want to put this one aside because we're going to talk about them later. So when I pull them out, and we have the piston right here. That is the piston, this is the cylinder liner. So the piston comes right on it, so which is, that is not the best idea because, vibration is going to damage the walls of the cylinder. But, everybody has their own way to build things. So in this case, I don't think that is the best way. I think you think the same way. That's the reason why Detroit decided to do it separately. But anyway, we pull the cylinder. And when we pull the cylinder, you do it very careful because you can scratch the cylinder walls and the piston comes out. See? Here we have the piston, aftermarket piston. It is branded ESCO and it looks very different, right? It looks super machined, and but the best way to tell the difference will be to compare it to OEM. So the piston right here doesn't come with a pin, or probably does in the other box, but in here doesn't come with a pin, and it doesn't come with the piston rings. The piston rings are completely separate. See, it has the exhaust J brake valve over here, hot, so this is for the, and it has that arrow that goes to the front. This means then where the piston is going to be located inside the cylinder once it is completely together. Other than that, we don't see anything different. Once we get to the OEM, we will see the major difference. So now we want to pull the liner. This is the cylinder liner. Cylinder liner looks kind of familiar, it looks kind of the same. We have the same shape, the seals, the bottom seal right here, the bottom seat over here, and it doesn't look any different than the OEM. It looks kind of the same. It shouldn't be different because it's pretty much the same component. So what else we have on the piston kit over here? Let's see, we have this box, and for the weight of this box I can tell then we have the piston pin in here because it's kind of heavy. So we open it, and for sure this little box over here, that is going to be the piston pin. At the piston pin we have the piston nozzle, spraying some extra oil to the piston so it gets lubrication. We have the rims, the clips for the pistons. They look kind of different. See how it look? I was looking at them. It freaked me a little, but it's on the position they are, so that's the reason why they look. See, now I put them together, they look the same, but I was thinking that they were completely different. But anyway, we have this, and we have the seals. See the two seals, they come in a little bag, so it looks very nice. Also, we have this little box, and I'm pretty sure this little box is going to be the piston rings. We have the piston rings in here. Lubrication piston ring. This is going to be the compression, I believe, and this is going to be the fire, I believe. Well, we have the three piston rings over here. They're completely separate. So let's put it aside, and now we are going to open the OEM and do a proper comparison. The OEM comes completely separate. See, the piston is by itself, the liner is in the other box. So in this little bag over here we have the sprayer, the nozzle, and one of the secure clips over here. This is for the piston. Only one because the other one is already installed there. So we have the bolt, nothing special. And we have the piston. Piston comes all together with the pin and the rings. See, the piston rings are already located on place, so you don't have to put them together. And the piston pin is already on place as well. All you have to do is insert the connecting rod and insert the other clip over here, and that will be it. But let's remove the pin so we can see inside and we can compare the pins together. Let's open this pin and let's see this other pin. Basically they look exactly the same, but you can tell minor difference. They have some difference on the way they are designed and the way they look. It is not a big difference, but you can tell they're different. And let's turn them the other side, the other way, and it's pretty much the same. Nothing completely different. So the piston pin itself looks just similar. You cannot tell which one is which. If I put them together, nobody will tell this is aftermarket or this is OEM. So, but yeah, they look exactly the same. When it comes to the piston, there is where the major difference is going to be. Because the piston rings are completely separate versus these ones that are completely together on the piston. And see how this piston looks and see how this other piston looks. Exactly the same on the shape, but they look completely different. You can tell the look of each piston. This one is dark, this one is shiny like chrome, and the finish, or where the piston rings go, is completely different. See, this one is all dark completely. It is like it is made of a different material, completely different material. You can tell. I am not sure the specification of the material, that's why I'm not telling you what type of material is made, but I'm pretty sure it's made of a strong material that is going to resist the heat, friction, and power of a diesel engine. From the bottom side, let's see how they look. We have the same shapes over here, a longer and a short. See, these are pretty much the same. We have the orifice for lubrication right there. Nothing different. And this one is pretty much the same. The bottom area looks the same, round, just as this one. And we can tell then, yeah, there is a big difference versus the two of them. And that is the question to me. I mean, how long this overhaul kit is going to last. But now let's go to the cylinder. The cylinder is right here. The cylinder is important not because it is the only component of the overhaul kit that is more important than anything else. It is important because it is the one that wears over the time and start creating problems like oil consumption and high crankcase pressure or low power as well. It wears a lot if the cylinder is not made of a right material, and you know that is going to create so many problems. So in this case, we got the cylinder by itself. So we pull it and let's compare it to the aftermarket. Let's put it right. Okay. From the bottom side, they look exactly the same. I cannot tell a difference. See, the same way they're machined over here. The seat is the same. We got the shape. See the shape over here, the way it looks, and we got the same shape over here. See, nothing different. They look exactly the same. I won't lie. You cannot tell the difference on this. The pistons, yeah, you can see the piston, yeah, it looks completely different, but the cylinder, you cannot tell the difference. It's pretty much exactly the same. There is no major difference. Even from the top, you see the same lines, everything the same. The color looks different. The reason why is because this one is covered on oil. This one has a lot of oil. This one is completely dry. It doesn't have anything. Probably it has, but just a thin layer of oil. This one is sucking oil. That's the reason it looks a little yellow. But once we clean it, it's gonna look exactly the same as this one. Basically, on the cylinder, we don't have any major difference on how it looks. Basically, it's going to be the same. Now, we have in here two extra components that are the seals. It comes with the two seals, the bottom seal and the top seal. We have the other two right here. Let's get them out and try not to confuse them because they look exactly the same. Well, there is a difference on the color, I can tell right now. And the way they feel the same. The material looks the same quality. I'm not sure what will be the difference on this one, but they look pretty much the same. I think there is not much to compare. It is just the color, the one that is going to vary just a bit, but it is not that much. So let's put this one back in there because I don't want to get the trouble to confuse the seals. Now we have the two cylinders, the two pistons, the piston rings and everything. So there is more components, more major components, and those are the main bearings and the rod bearings and the thrust bearings. In this case, I have here a box of a rod bearing for a DD15 engine. So let's pull it out and see how they look and how they come. They come like this in the opposite directions, and they come in little bags, completely separate. Easy to getting out, and this is the way they look. Nice, clean, ready for installation, no scratches. That is nice. Now let's compare the other one. Same way. It has a different color, of course, because the different color is going to be for the location where the bearing is going to be. This is for the, usually the darker color goes to the connecting rod top, and the lighter color goes to the cap. Now we have the aftermarket ESCO bearings here. These are the rod bearings here. See? And they come in a little sealed package, and they come in this like this. See? So let's open them and see how they look. Okay. You can see here where the other connecting rod bearing has been sitting. It's been scratching that area. That's the reason why it's not that good idea to install it that way. And we have the same way on the other side. See, it's been scratching that area, which is not a big deal, but you know, it has a lot to do. Now, brand new, you can see how many scratches this one has. This is brand new, and it already has the scratches. Compared to this one, it has no scratches at all. You can tell the attention to detail than the OEM has. Well, let's put it right here, and then when I get them close, we have the other one. It looks very different. See how this one looks, the shape of it and everything, the type of finish they have is kind of very different. I mean, I don't want to touch it because I don't want to scratch it. And see, here we have the area where it's being in contact with the other connecting rod bearing, and you can tell that there is a minor damage right there. It is not a bigger damage, but you know, everything matters when it comes to internal components of the engine. From the back, this is the way they look. See, very unique on the finish. OEM, see how it looks. You can tell the OEM has more detail on the finish of the connecting rod bearing. There is a big difference, you can tell right away. So here we have the other one, the same thing, and let's bring the other one. Let's put it together, and you can tell how this one is finished. It is a big difference. OEM bearings versus aftermarket bearings, you can tell the difference. They are not the same. We have scratches, signs the bearing is new, and the way the bearing is finished is not the best. But the look of the bearing is not the most important thing. It is how long does it last, because this component is going to be a very important component, because if this one gets damaged, we are going to get a major problem to the crankshaft. So I don't know how long this one is going to last, to be honest, but it is not the only thing that we are going to review, because we have the main bearings, and the main bearings are going to be another important piece of the overhaul. So let's open main bearings, aftermarket main bearings, and the same way, see, they come the same way. So let's open them. We got them completely out. Now, as just the same way as the connecting rod, we have the same thing, scratches. Bearing is brand new and we already have scratches. See, we have more scratches here, see? Oh, right here, see? And you can see some fingerprint scratches. See, all those is when they were probably putting together, they had their hands and they were just sliding their hands in there. You know, everything is scratched, bearing, everything. So you have to be careful how you grab it. That is the reason why if you don't have oil in your hands, you are going to leave a mark, a scratch. And we have, let's see over here, we have no damage here, this is fine, but the finish over here looks completely different. See how this one looks over here? Looks completely different. But that's not, as long as it fits perfectly, that's not going to affect anything. On the back we have the same damage because it's been sitting on top of the other one, so the other bearing has been scratching the surface of the rear area of the bearing. And we have the other damage over here, and we don't have any other damage, just the way it is machined, it is finished, doesn't look the best, but I mean, as long as it does the job, that's what it matters. So let's bring the other one. This is going to be the lubrication bearing for the crankshaft, and we have the same look just as the connecting rod of aftermarket, so the same finish. On the back, see, we have some oxidation here, some rust. I don't know why it's there, probably some water got there at some point and didn't clean it pretty well. And that's pretty much it. We don't have anything else. Everything else looks, you know, just as the other one, just minor details. So let's bring the other bearings. These are the OEM bearings. So it's a kit. Well, it's just the two. You need 7 of these if you wonder, and 6 of the other ones, the rod bearings. So they come the same way. See, this one comes upside down, see, and this one comes in the other direction like this, so that way they don't get damaged. And let's bring it out. OEM, no major scratches, but we have this mark over here. See this mark? That looks like a scratch, probably an accident or something, but it doesn't look anything closer to this one. See, you can tell there is many scratches on the other one. This one doesn't have that many. On the back, looks clean. The way it's finished is pretty nice, pretty smooth. We don't have rust or anything. So it's ready for installation. Just blow some air and put some lubrication on it, and we're ready. Now we are getting out the lubrication bearing. This is going to be for the top area of the crankshaft, and it comes with oil already to prevent rust. We don't have scratches, which is good. Rear area, looks clean, no scratches, no marks. The finish of this bearing looks completely different than the other one. The reason why is then this one is made of a different material than this one. So this one goes on top and the other one goes on the bottom. Now compare to the aftermarket. The color is completely different, but the color has nothing to do on the quality. Just remember that. And the back looks completely different. Well, I guess in the when it comes to the bottom components, there is a big difference on the major components of the overhaul kit. But there is something that I almost forgot to mention, and it is the thrust bearings. These are the thrust bearings for a DD15 engine. These ones are made of a very different material. They don't scratch so easy, they come together. So you can tell how they look. Now we wanna bring out the aftermarket competitor ESCO and see how they look. They come separate in two different kits, one left, one right. Let's open one. We only need one because the other one is gonna be exactly the same. Exactly the same. It is minor difference in the way the machine is working on each individual bearing, but it is not something that you will notice right away. You have to pay attention. Here you have the comparison of the two components. I don't know if you find this one interesting. If you don't, well, I mean, comment below. But we have more components to inspect, and that will be the cylinder head gasket. Mostly there is seals and everything there, but I don't care about seals because, you know, seals are going to be seals. They are not going to be, they can be different, but that is not going to be the major reason why your engine gonna go bad. This is the major reason why the engine is gonna go bad if you select the right or the wrong overhaul kit. Here I have the two cylinder head gaskets. So let's get them out. This one we have to get it. It's the opposite way right now. Right here. He comes in this little. This is long. All right, we got it out. So it comes like this. Protection, and we have these dividers. These are the ones that are going to allow the cylinder head gasket to stay so it doesn't move left and right. And we have this little plastic carton right here. Then it's going to keep it away from any scratches. Let's put it on the side. And the aftermarket, it comes kind of the same material, but it comes sealed in a plastic. That is the difference. So let's open it. You can tell there is a big difference on the color of the finish of the cylinder head. This one has like a different protective layer material. This one doesn't. This one looks like steel straight up. In this case, this I noticed earlier, then this cylinder head gasket is made on Germany. The aftermarket one is made on Germany, and the OEM cylinder head gasket is made on Germany as well. We have right here the OEM is made on Germany too. So I guess then the quality of the cylinder head gasket is going to be exactly the same as the OEM, because they both are made in Germany. That is a good sign, because we all want quality parts for less, and this could be an example. Then we are getting a lower price and the same quality. Let's turn it around. Everything looks same, nothing different. Let's do the same thing with this one right here. No major difference. We have the same orifices over here, see, because they are made for different engines. See, same orifices for the rear cam housing and everything. We have the same seals, the same type of orifice for the seal, the same type of finish. The color is the only thing that varies. This one has a layer of another material, and this one is the bare steel. That is the one, that's the thing that is going to be major. That's the only difference, the aftermarket versus the OEM. But the way they look exactly the same. I cannot tell the difference. If someone gives me this as an OEM, probably I will just think that it's an OEM because it looks OEM. It doesn't have a major difference versus the aftermarket and the OEM, so it looks exactly the same. So I guess on the cylinder head gasket, the quality is just as an OEM and the price is way less. And there is other components that come with the overhaul kit on ESCO. In ESCO, you have the cylinder head bolts and the seals for the head, the oil, the coolant manifold, the intake manifold, exhaust manifold, and seals for the EGR cooler. You have as well the oil pan gasket and the valve cover gasket. All that is included on the ESCO overhaul kit. On the OEM, you have all those seals, but you have the oil pump as well. I don't have the oil pump over here to show you because we don't have a aftermarket. I think they don't even make all aftermarket oil pumps. I'm not sure. You can correct me if I am wrong. And it comes with the oil suction manifold. That's another piece that comes with the OEM overhaul. The aftermarket doesn't have those components. That's the reason why they don't sell. But even though then you can buy those components separately, still buying an aftermarket is going to be way cheaper than buying an OEM. An OEM is going to be the top quality when it comes to duration and the money you spend, but it is not going to be the reason why you are going to trust. Then OEM is going to be the only one then you are going to select. Aftermarket competitors are getting better and better every time. The only problem with aftermarket is the price. And what I mean the price is this. When aftermarket competitors are trying to compete with OEM, they are trying to lower their price because nobody will pay the same amount of price for an aftermarket component instead buying an OEM. People will buy the OEM instead buying aftermarket because they're equal price. So the issue is this for aftermarket competitors. They have to keep their prices low in order to keep people away from buying OEM overhaul kits. The only problem of keeping low cost is then you are sacrificing quality. But I am not completely sure how much quality aftermarket competitors are giving away just because they want to compete against OEM. I'm not sure. You are the one that is going to tell that. If you install this overhaul kit on your vehicle, you will know how long it's going to last. And if you have the answer for that, please use the comment section below, That way you can give the idea to all the other people that is looking to buy aftermarket components because they don't have the budget to buy OEM. And you know, not only OEM is the one that is going to offer the warranty. Aftermarket competitors are also offering the warranty. The only difference is then aftermarket competitors are going to give you different policies for warranty. In the case of OEM, they can give you the full warranty, but it depends where you bought the parts too. Because you can buy the parts in a different area where they don't want to give warranty because they don't want to go with that. In the area where I am, they do. If you buy overhaul kit OEM and it goes bad, they will give you a full warranty, everything new, with no cost, except for some of the components, probably some seals and everything. If you spend $7,000 on an overhaul kit OEM, probably you are going to pay $1,000 if warranty is applied. That's all. When it comes to aftermarket, well, you know, aftermarket competitors, you know, the people that sell aftermarket, they want to tell you, oh, we have to send this one to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer gotta tell us what to do. They want to send them new. You pay out in the meantime. You have to buy a new one. La 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 la. So I guess you know how that was. But I guess my point is my point is clear over here, and I don't need to explain anything more about aftermarket versus OEM. There is a very visible difference versus the two. The most noticeable difference is going to be the price, the cost of the components, and it will be up to you to decide which one will you go to. OEM always will be the best, the recommended. Aftermarket will be the second option. But not all of us are going to have the budget to buy OEMs because, you know, it's going to be more expensive. So aftermarket will be the option, the number one option if you are looking to save money. But keep in mind that saving money doesn't mean getting a good deal. That is something that you have to think about heavy equipment, because when it comes to heavy equipment, it doesn't work 1 hour, 2 hours. It works 24 hours, 1 week, 2 weeks straight, non-stop. You know how that is, especially when there is snow, when it's summer, super hot, and when you are going uphill, downhill, brakes and everything. So you need good quality components. And saving money, it is not going to be equal to good quality. So that is something that you are going to decide your own. I am not going to tell you what to get. I personally, I was gonna prefer OEM, no matter what. OEM is going to be the best for me, not because the quality, it is because I know the parts are not going to fail that easy, even when they're new. Aftermarket, well, I have experiences using aftermarkets. You know, parts they don't fit well, parts are going to be a little different, parts are going to, you know, have little defects here and there. So, you know, that is the consequences of using aftermarket. But if you know what you're going to do, you don't have to get surprised. You already know. Then aftermarket will be the option for you, or OEM. To me, as I say, OEM, I think the OEM will be the best, but I don't say then you have to go to OEM. Depending on your budget, that is what you are going to select. Up to right now, this is all. You have any questions, use the comment section below. If you have experiences or you sell this type of components, you can use the comment section below. You can help everybody to decide which component is going to be the best for their machines. And you can leave any type of experiences that you have, recommendations, any type of problems that you had with aftermarket or OEMs, because, you know, nothing is supposed to have no problems at all. Everything is going to have problems somehow. And If you wanna contact me directly, go to Instagram, franciscoamaya YouTube. You can ask me anything there. Just have the specific pictures, questions, videos, or anything that can give me information about your problem, and I can get straight to your answer. When I send support to the channel, check the description of the video. I have details how to send support to the channel. You can create content like this. Probably I can do more reviews for you. What will be the best for you? How to compare components? Tell me on the comment section below about it. So share the video, like it, subscribe. Thank you for watching.